For Ghana is such, a lovely country, but sometimes our Ghana is a funny country as well. Hi, Ordinal TV. I would like you to subscribe to Ordinal TV, add your like, your comment, your click on the notification button, and please don't forget to share our videos to a lot of people. So right now, I am Mr. Alban Bagbin, Speaker of Parliament, has been mentioned in some scandal. NASA scandal no ewisha for Shika emuyedu to say 5.6 million Ghana cedis. A taxpayers' money ewisha for no bomu yaboni din. Yes, sika we yinim say a public purse a idea ye de Ghana hombra. Just say sika we na ewisha for sometimes obi say so how come Ghana ye BBA so I say you're hot baby ejina we don't move forward as a standstill yeah firm. Nothing is improving in Ghana. Galamsey I see a bejaya no Africa na massive 24-hour economy. I don't know about that a whole lot. Even fresh teachers guys you see any free biomo. I know people motor school uniforms near their day. Just say Ghana has been, I don't know, I am basa. Nothing is going on well. Just more and more high positions, or more I enjoy it. And then as you're from one, so we are suffering every day. And then Sisia no Sika 5.6 Ghana citizens. People are asking, I am Mr. Alban Bagbin. What do you name we Speaker of Parliament? Case Biba, Parliament is sit down, you solve everything. But how come taxpayers' money Ghana, a public person, if I obey a cedar once a coho arches is going ira a found him. Come when you could see him embraces but answer no said them cancer saying. Make sure to subscribe to Ordinal TV, your likes, your comment. Share videos to a lot of people, and don't forget to also, click on the notification button for more news updates. Yes, you're Nketia and Sammy
on Human Rights and Administrative Justice (ßreaks), which is yet to pay a fine of 30,000 cedis. The Judicial Service of Ghana also yet to pay a fine of 100,000 cedis. The Attorney General's Department also yet to pay a fine of 50,000 cedis. The Public Procurement Authority (PPA) also yet to pay a fine of 100,000 cedis. The Ghana Police Service, which has paid 450,357 cedis. The Ghana Audit Service, which has paid 60,000 cedis, and the Parliamentary Service, which has paid 53,785 cedis. 5 institutions have paid the heaviest fines. They are the Agricultural Development Bank, a total of 1,365,000 Ghana cedis. Ghana Police Service, 450,357 cedis. The Ministry of Education, 260,000 cedis. The Social Security and National Insurance Trust (SNIT), 200,000 cedis, and the Lands Commission, 150,000 cedis. In terms of frequency, the Ministry of Education ranks highest with 4 penalties received, while the Ghana Police Service has received 3. 10 other institutions have suffered 2 penalties each. They include the Ghana Education Service, the Judicial Service, the Lands Commission, Public Procurement Authority, the Ministry of Energy, and the Urban Roads Department. What is worse, state institutions have been used. Private legal practitioner Zakaria Tanko Musa.
To go up, they have been very excellent, and I'm happy that they are penalizing those who are recalcitrant the way they have been doing. But very soon, Winston, the penalties are actually going to go up. That these institutions will suffer are actually going to go up, and they'll go up in a way that I'll disclose very soon. These are just my preliminary comments. We appeared before the Subsidiary Legislating Committee in July of 2024. It was a bit late, but because of that, the rules or the regulations have not been passed. but the regulations are also very good, and they are going to be substantial and effective fines for non-complying institutions.
Legal practitioner, host of a news file on Joy News. We know the role he played in the right to information, one of our foremost advocates. He's joining us via phone, and Esther Hulu is Programs Manager, Commonwealth Human Rights Initiative, also joining us on phone. Dr. Winifred Nafisa Mahama, Acting Director of the Information Services Department, is with us in studio. So good morning to you, Samson. Good morning to you, Esther. Hope you're all doing well.
Fine, thanks for asking.
Great. So let me start with you, Samson. And first of all, I just would want your general thoughts about the revelations in this documentary.
Not that they are not known to me. I've been very familiar with them, and if you've monitored some of Samson's stake in 2020 to 2023, I kept insisting that some things were being done wrong and we needed to do some things. I had called for the Attorney General, the Information Minister, and the President all together to show that they are not complicit in discouraging the use of the disgraceful conduct by officials who were doing some of these things, putting some of these stumbling blocks in our way. I actually also called for the dismissal of the heads of institutions who were embarrassing the government and giving the country such a bad name. I still believe in all of these, and I believe that the signaling is important. We must make it as a central part of the KPI, which Kujopo Nkrumah sought to have done for all the institutions which are within the public space and liable to the RTI. It must be part of their KPI that they are seen to be proactive in enabling disclosure of information for as long as it is not information that is exempt, and also for particular individuals to be held liable and to be made to pay from their pockets if they do not, comply with the request in a manner that is consistent with the law. For example, Occupy Ghana, after Sir John's will to close that, the Achimota forest had been privatized, some people had bought lands, began to find information from the Lands Commission. The Lands Commission was so nonchalant in its conduct. Eventually, the matter got to the RTI Commission. They were sanctioned with 100,000. And every day that you don't pay, you are, as it were, accruing more debt. They were giving some 14 days to comply. They were not. Occupy Ghana wrote to them every day for the 14 days, just so they will do the right thing. Multimedia Group has made RTI applications, and similar, discouraging conduct has been seen on the part of, public officials who are in charge of these institutions. And I think we need to do the right thing and do it as quickly as possible. The RTI Commission, they have been very excellent, and I'm happy that they are penalizing those who are recalcitrant the way they have been doing. But very soon, Winston, the penalties are actually going to go up. That, these institutions will suffer are actually going to go up. And they'll go up in a way that I'll disclose very soon. These are just my preliminary comments. We appeared before the Subsidiary Legislating Committee in July of 2024. It was a bit late, but because of that, the rules or the regulations have not been passed. But the regulations are also very good, and there are going to be substantial and effective fines for non-complying institutions.
Okay. I'll get back to you, but let me just go to Esther now, because I realize that the Commonwealth Human Rights Initiative, you host the RTR coalition in Ghana. So ordinarily one would expect that you have easy access to information, but you've had an interesting encounter with the Ghana Police Service, and the data that Corruption Watch analyzed shows that the police service suffered a penalty of 100,000 cedis because of your complaint. Tell us about that, Esther.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. So, yes, you made mention that because of the work that we have done so far, you'll be thinking that you would have easy access to information. No, that is really not the case. Yes, that's really not the case. Our request to the Ghana Police Service, in fact, there were in two. We made one was on, for my organization, the Commonwealth Human Rights Initiative. One of our area is also access to justice. Mm-hmm. So we follow issues with police accountability and all that. So we did a research. I mean, we've been collating cases on police brutality and killings and all that. So we've had those cases put together, and we sent the request. I think it was in 2002. Yes, we made the request in 2002, asking about investigation in those cases, because normally when these things happen, the police will issue a statement. Yes, this happened, and we are doing an investigation and all that. So, and like I said, as an organization that works in the area, we had an interest, because of course we've been engaging and you're not getting any information as to how far things are going on those cases, and how citizens, those whose rights have been abused, are being compensated and all that. So we've been working and engaging and following up. And while we are not getting the feedback, we invoke the RTR law to access information in those areas. And as you said, we didn't get the information. In fact, our first request, we even did it, per the law, when you are doing a request, you are supposed to address it to the information officer. When we addressed it to the information officer, our letter wasn't received, because as at that time, that was 2002, like I said, as at that time, they had not put in place, they didn't have an information officer. So we sent a letter and they didn't take it. But because we also want some updates, we said, okay, even though the